Thanks for staying with us here on The Pulse. Well, it's just days to the rerun of the parliamentary elections in 19 polling stations within the Ablekuma North constituency right here in the capital. Well, the exercise, we know, has been triggered by the Electoral Commission's failure to declare a winner 6 months after voting ended. But the NPP is pushing back, questioning the legality and fairness of the process. The party insists only 3 polling stations remain in contention, and they say that any attempt to extend the rerun beyond those polling stations is simply unjustifiable. Well, they have threatened legal action and they want to halt the entire process. They describe it as flawed. And join us now is Henry Nenabwachi. We appreciate your time here on The Pulse. I just want to find out, have you started the legal process already?
Thank you very much, Mifa. Yes, we have done so. We have just made an application to the court to injunct the processes to rerun the 19 polling stations. So yes, I can confirm to you that we have done so. In fact, our position is quite simple. There is only 3 outstanding polling stations, only 3. And in fact, the Electoral Commission has been very, very consistent on this matter. In fact, from the very first moment when they started their actions or their conduct to collate this matter, you recall that the High Court gave a definitive directive. The High Court said, Ghana Police provides security for the Electoral Commission to collate and declare the 3 outstanding polling stations. Subsequent to that, the Electoral Commission, through its deputy commissioners, both Mr. Tete and Dr. Bosman. Mr. Tete wrote back to us, the New Patriotic Party, when we had officially written to them on the 3rd of June, inquiring when they intend to collate the Ablekuma North results. And then they wrote back to us that they are ready. For them, out of the 34 polling stations, they have collated all of it but for 3. So the outstanding or the remaining polling stations are 3. They are only waiting for the police to provide them with adequate security. And that is even outside of Ablekuma North constituency, not even in the Ablekuma North constituency. Outside the Ablekuma North, they are only waiting for the police to provide them with adequate security. Dr. Bosman also in Parliament repeated same. In fact, he took Parliament through the entire processes when they did all these collations up to the remaining 3, which is outstanding now. So they have been very consistent with their communication. So this U-turn, for me, it's mischievous. It lacks legal standings. It is most unfortunate. It lacks any political consensus. And for us, we feel that it is out of a certain intimidation. The national chairman of the NDC was on your TV program with Evans. And he said that the Electoral Commission, the arrowheads, the 3 of them, they must all go. And they are not fit for purpose. Those are the words he used. And just few days after, they come out with this unfortunate U-turn. So from us, this is an illegality. This is unfortunate. It's marks of lack of principle on the part of the Electoral Commission. We have won the elections by 414 votes. The outstanding or the remaining polling stations to be collected are just 3. We are not going to partake in any illegality. We have won the elections. So that is it. The Electoral Commission, they don't even have the authority to call for a rerun. We are done with the elections.
But if you've won the elections, as you claim, why not allow the process start all over again? If you're winners, you still be winners. We will not
be part of any fraud. Look, you know the presidents will be certain. The president is dangerous. Now it means that in any election, just cause chaos, create problems, so that you prevent the Electoral Commission from collating the results. And then subsequently, the Electoral Commission will come back to say that let's do a rerun. It is dangerous. And you see, the other argument is that we are surprised that The police cannot provide adequate security for the Electoral Commission to collate only three police, only three police outside Ablekuma North constituency. But now they have expressed their willingness to provide adequate security for the rerun of 19 polling stations. And this is a recipe for disaster. It's a national security threat. We are done with the elections. And there is a pending High Court directive. The Electoral Commission must not be lawless.
Well, in the suit you say you have filed, what are the key reliefs you're seeking?
Well, first of all, to enjoin the process.
Okay.
Yes, and then for the court to order the Electoral Commission to collate the three outstanding polling stations and declare. That is what we know, and that is what they themselves is on record. Officially, they have told Parliament. Officially, they wrote to the New Patriotic Party. So what has changed? So we reject any form of rerun. That is an act of illegality. We reject any form of lawlessness on the part of the Electoral Commission. We reject any form. And again, we reject any form of intimidation.
Are you being
the
intimidated?
The NPP chairman says that hey, you are not fit for purpose, go. And then a day or 2 days after, you want to engineer a certain decision in their favor. No, we are not going to kowtow to that. So we are not going to part of this illegality. Tomorrow we are holding a big press conference in the constituency to show all the results. We have all the 281 polling station results. And we have won by 400, a clear majority, 414 votes. Okay. And the NDC, they know that we have won. Look, we lost Dominic Abenya. Immediately they started the coalition. Yes, we gave him because we had seen the results. In this case, we have carbon copies of 271, and then we have scanned copies of an additional 10, making 281. And we have won these elections. We are not going to kowtow to any illegality. We are not going to be part. We are not going to condone to any illegal process. Of the Electoral Commission to say, let's go for a rerun of 19 polling stations. We are not going to be part of it.
Okay. I'm Faustina, by the way, but then I just wanted to get the quick reaction of the New Patriotic Party, the passing of the MP for Akweti. I'm sure it came to you as a shock today, as a political party.
It's sad.
What's your response
to that?
It's
very, very sad. And he's not just maybe an MPP member or an MPP MP. He is actually a brother. He's a personal friend. Recently, I traveled with him. We spoke a lot about so many things. I know the ordeal he's gone through in winning the seat. He attempted the first time, he lost. He put in again a gallant fight, and then he won. And then even after that, he had some legal, battles to fight. And then eventually, he is now free to execute his mandate as an MP for the good people of Akweti. And then all of a sudden, he's gone. Very sad. Very, very, very sad. Very unfortunate. Today we're having the National Executive Committee meeting when news broke that we've lost such a young man, very vibrant, very intelligent. It's very sad. It is very, very, very sad. And the family, the wife, I'm having short of words. I'm having short of words. I've been very down and I'm very sad.
But what briefing have you received?
I'm sure. May the good Lord keep his soul. Well, rest in peace, my good brother. I mean, it's very sad, very unfortunate. He was full of life, very strong.
I can see, sir, emotional. How emotional you are.
Yeah.
But then, based on the briefing you received, what actually led to his passing?
We are yet to receive all of these confirmation. I'm sure that in the coming days I'll be able to speak to you on these matters. Okay. We're in a meeting when it happened. The regional chairman of the Eastern region broke the news to us. It was corroborated by the leader, our leader, minority leader in parliament. So for now, we don't have the details, but I'm sure that in the coming days we'll have it and then we can share.
Quite sad. But away from that, the delegates conference is coming up within the next 12 days. How are preparations going so far?
Oh, yes. As I speak, we are having even a meeting at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium where the conference is going to be held. So far, so good. We are going to engage the media on Thursday. The chairman for the planning committee, Honorable the former first deputy speaker, Honorable Joe Sewusu, will address the media on Thursday on the do's and don'ts. We are expecting to have a very good conference. We have some proposals to amend our constitution. It will be put before conference, and because conference is the highest decision-making body of the party, and they have the mandate to cause any amendments to our constitution. So we are expecting to have a very fruitful.
And if you don't mind sharing with us, what are some of these key amendments that you would like them to deliberate on and give the nod?
Again, too, I also don't want to take the shine out of what the amendment committee is going to share. They also have a press engagement tomorrow where lawyer Frank Davis will also give highlights of the things that we are supposed to expect. But then before, we had sent already 300 proposals out to the constituency party, and we have condensed it. We have consolidated it into some few proposals because some of them were almost similar or the same. So we've just put it together, consolidated it. So the amendment committee chair, even before conference, will address the media on this as well.
Okay. We appreciate your time here on The Pulse. That's Henry Nana Boakye, national organizer for the New Patriotic Party, just giving us some key updates. Tomorrow there'll be a press conference. We're told Frank Davis will be addressing that. The party is proposing some key amendments to their constitution, and they would be seeking the buy-in of the delegates during the delegate conference. We're also told that Jose Owusu will be addressing a news conference on Thursday as we look at their preparations ahead of the delegates conference that's coming up within the next 12 days, and we're keeping our tabs on that because, trust us, we are your election headquarters. Now, away from that, security post at the residence of the Electoral Commissioner and the chairperson, as you may know, Jean Mensah, remains abandoned almost a week after officers who manned the post were withdrawn. Well, you know that news broke out about the withdrawal of the security detail, the military security detail, by the way. And we know that the minister addressed why exactly that was done. It's unclear whether the NDC has anything to do with this. If you recall, the NDC chairman, Johnson Asiedu, called that indeed they wanted the EC boss and her deputies sacked. We're trying to find a link to that, but not yet. My colleague James Aveji, by the way, visited her residence and will show you what our cameras captured. But first, let's listen to the Interior Minister, Mohammed Muntaka, insisting the chairperson's military detail has been replaced with police officers.
We knew that we were no longer going to use military to provide what was civilian protection. So a job was withdrawn and replaced with a police. So if you ask her, she will tell you she has a bodyguard. She has police manning her gate both day and night, and therefore it is never true if anybody says that her security has been withdrawn. What we do generally is to provide security around every neighborhood. But VVIPs, like the chair of the, what do you call it, Electoral Commission, she has a personal bodyguard. Her gate is manned 24/7, just like the Chief Justice, just like the Speaker of Parliament, and all others. And that we are doing. And I'm sure you can call her and find out, and she can confirm that, no, she has both her and her deputies, her office is protected.
But what went into the decision to withdraw the military and replace with the police?
Why should military be performing civilian functions? I mean, our country is not at war. Why should you draw in the military? I mean, you know, the use of military sometimes sends wrong signal to the ordinary citizens. Police are trained with a civilian mind. The military are supposed to concentrate to provide security for our external or territorial integrity. So when we draw them in, we are reducing the number of personnel that the military has to perform those difficult tasks that is usually performed by the military.
Is this exercise going to be limited to the EC chair alone, or are we going to see this cut across
That's
all?
everywhere. I mean, you can find out from the former defense minister, you can find out from almost all the civilians that were using militia. All of that has been withdrawn. All that without exception. And this is a decision that we took as a new government, and that's our policy, no civilian. And we've even encouraged our own members who are ordinarily, before they took their offices that they were occupying, some persons were providing military service to them. Yet, when we came, we decided that everybody should be protected with police, and that's what we are doing.
Right, but our independent checks at her residence shows that at the time we went, though, there were no police officers on the ground.
That's not true. We don't. I mean, who says that providing security to me as interior minister is to see police all over the streets around my house? They are supposed to be manning my gate, and that's what we are doing. And I'm saying that find out from her, are people minding her gate? Yes, they are minding her gate. They are following her wherever she goes. Yes.
All right. Finally, before I let you go, let's get clarity. Did you have a communication with her prior to the withdrawal of the military?
Yes, I personally did with her. You can ask her, and she'll tell you I did.
You wrote to her or you called her?
I called her. I spoke to her. All those involved. You can ask the former defense minister. I called them personally to give them head start and gave them when it was even going to start. All that.
And they were in agreement?
It's all about you agreement. We are supposed to provide security for you. And we are telling you that this is how we are going to do it. It's not for you to agree and disagree.
But Joy News can confirm that the security post remains abandoned. My colleague James Aveji has been doing some digging.
We are currently here at the Dade Street in Labone, in Osu, where the security details which used to provide security for chairperson of the EC have been withdrawn in the last few days. The issue came up on social media with photos flying about the police abandoning their posts here. As of this Monday morning, as we can report, the police are yet to return to their duty posts here. You see there the tent which used to house them temporarily in the course of the day and shield them from the rays of the sun as well as rainfall is empty. Just a while ago we saw a civilian, come to park a bicycle and chained it to one of the posts of the tent there and walked away. And as we can see, the place looks abandoned. In the last few days there are no chairs, and you see there the police a barricade, one of which has the inscription "Stop Police Checkpoint," is standing on the road. There is another one which has fallen and resting on the ground. It doesn't look like anyone has been here in the last couple of days, and so the checkpoint has been abandoned as we speak. In the last few days, it is unclear why the security details have been withdrawn. There have not been any explanation from government on why they had to withdraw the security from here, but this is coming in the wake of emerging calls for the dismissal of the EC bosses, including the chair as well as her two deputies. We cannot independently say that this is in relation to those calls or otherwise, but what we can report is that the place has been abandoned. From the Dade Street here in Labone also, we can confirm that there are no securities at these two security checkpoints as at this morning, Monday morning, and even last week when we came here to check on this here in Osu in Accra. I am James Savage reporting for Joy News.
Well, my colleague James Aveji there. But let me take you back to our earlier story, which has brought you two conflicted figures from two different surveys, one from Sanity Africa and the other from Africa Lens, just predicting who exactly will be leading the flag bearership race for the New Patriotic Party. I have with me spokesperson for Kennedy Japan's team, Kwesi Kwartin, join us live. Just get his brief reaction on that survey. Kwesi, I'll start with your survey. I'm sure you've been looking at the survey put together by Sanity Africa. Your initial reaction to that?
Firstly, good evening to you and good evening to your viewers. I decided to respond to this call out of, first of all, respect that I have your multimedia group, and based on the long-lasting relationship that my good self and your platform have. And so out of respect, I decided to honor this phone invitation and speak to you. But we are also well aware that as of now, we have received confirmation as a party of the demise of our brother, the Honorable MXC Alkumi. And in the spirit of solidarity, in respect to himself and the entire family, I would want to waive any detailed discussion with regard to any other issue outside his death. It's just a way of showing respect to him and the family and the entire NPP, and that is what Team Ken believes. But I'm sure subsequently we'll have more opportunity and time to discuss into detail the survey. But I mean, just brief comments also by way of respect and not to distort your program. Okay. I would like to say that is a good feedback for all of us. Work on it and make sure that where we need to improve, we improve. And where we also need to take remedial steps, we'll take those remedial steps. I will respectfully want to plead with you and your platform at least to waive us from any further commentaries on the survey in solidarity and in commemoration and respect to our demise brother, the Honorable NSQ.
Okay. Your request will be granted. Thank you so much for your time here on The Pulse. Well, away from that, Ghanaian students in the UK and US under the government scholarship scheme say they are stranded and facing the risk of academic dismissal and possible deportation. This follows Scholarship Secretariat's failure to meet its financial obligation despite several formal appeals from the leadership of the PhD student cohorts abroad. The government is yet to respond with a concrete solution or even an official comment. Secretary Ghanaian PhD student cohort in the UK, Ablekuma North, is urging government to urgently resolve the ongoing challenges between the universities and the Scholarship Secretariat.
I've been withdrawn, and I was given 60 days, and I've got 21 days more to come back to Ghana. So currently for me, I'm not in school, and I've got well-meaning people who are in the same situation like me, whilst others too has been suspended from their course and library and other resources that will aid them in doing their academic works.
When you say 60 days to pay up or 60 days to leave the country?
So for my situation, per my withdrawal letter, it was stated that I've got 60 days to leave the country, and counting from the day I received it to today, I've got 21 days more.
And how long has the Secretariat failed to meet its financial obligations to you and the other students involved?
So it's been spanning since the last government, and then we've been battling with the previous government until they left power. And then when this new registrar came in, or this new administration came in, on the 2nd of May, he came to UK to meet the schools and most of the students. And then he promised us that he will work assiduously to make sure he gets some of these things sorted. But since then, we've still not received any form of communication from him or any authorities just to give us any update as to what the authorities are doing about this. So it's been like more than a year too, and people are owed as many as 36 months of stipend since they started their PhD. And then we are all in the same pool of condition, which we are trying to see how best, as leaders of this group, we can liaise with the authorities and plead with them to come in our aid. So
this urgent need to resolve the financial issue, lest be deported, has this been tabled before the government, this administration? The 60-day window you have.
When we came into power, when we were elected as executives, we have, in one way or the other, tried to engage the relevant authorities, and we've still not gotten any positive response. And then, as a matter of fact, even if per my school, when they used to send the secretariat email just to respond to them, they never responded. And it went to the point for them withdrawing me, and even went to the point of issuing me an invoice to pay my school fees by my own, which I'm in debt in the UK government, which I was told that they will let debt collectors chase me for that. It is a record from my school, which I think has got evidence to back it.